Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and checking your bank account. Everything is gone. Not because you've been hacked, not because the economy crashed, not because of some global cyber attack, but because money itself no longer exists. Every pound, every dollar, every euro, every cryptocurrency, every stock, every bank account, gone. Not worthless, just gone. Nobody has money anymore. Now ask yourself, what happens next? Would society collapse? Would supermarkets be emptied within hours? Would governments lose control? Or would humanity simply find another way to keep moving forward? Let's think about it. What would happen first? Well, the first few hours would be confusing. Most of us would still wake up, brush our teeth, make coffee, and start our day. The roads would still exist, the internet would still work, the lights would still turn on, the food would still be sitting in supermarkets, the world wouldn't physically change overnight, the resources would still be here. The problem is that the system connecting all of those resources together would suddenly disappear. Think about it. Why does a farmer grow food for someone they've never met? Why does a truck driver transport the food across the country? Why does a supermarket employee stock the shelves? Money. It's the common language that allows millions of strangers to cooperate. Without it, that language vanishes instantly. And suddenly, nobody knows what they're supposed to do next. Most people imagine chaos. But history suggests something interesting. Humans are incredibly good at adapting. When one system breaks, another usually takes its place. Long before money existed, people still traded. They exchanged goods, skills, services, knowledge. Communities found ways to survive. So maybe society wouldn't collapse. Maybe it would simply reorganize itself. But there's a problem. Modern civilization is far more complicated than ancient villages. Your phone might contain materials from dozens of countries. Your breakfast might involve ingredients shipped across continents. Money isn't just a convenience anymore. It's one of the invisible forces coordinating billions of people every single day. Without it, the world wouldn't stop, but it would slow down dramatically. Now, let's step back and ask a strange question. What is money, actually? Think about it. You can't eat it. You can't drink it. You can't build a house out of it. Money has very little value by itself. Its power comes from something else. Trust. Money works because we all agree it works. When someone hands you a £20 note, you're not accepting paper. You're accepting a promise. A promise that somebody else will also accept it later. And somebody after them. And somebody after them. Money might be one of the largest shared agreements in human history. A global story that billions of people believe in simultaneously. And because everyone believes it, it becomes real. Here's where things get interesting. Humans don't like uncertainty. So if money vanished tomorrow, we'd probably invent something new. Fast. Maybe reputation becomes currency. Imagine a world where your trustworthiness determines what you can access. Maybe skills become currency. A doctor might exchange medical care for food. An engineer might exchange expertise for housing. Maybe powerful artificial intelligence systems would manage resources and decide who gets what. Or perhaps communities would become smaller and more local. People might rely more heavily on neighbours, rather than distant institutions. Whatever happens, one thing seems likely. The vacuum wouldn't stay empty for long, because humans naturally create systems. It's what we do. But here's the part that really makes me think. If money disappeared tomorrow, would inequality disappear too? At first, it sounds like it would. No billionaires, no millionaires, no rich, no poor. Everyone starts at zero, right? Maybe not, because money isn't the only source of power. Some people would still have influence. Some would have knowledge. Some would have leadership skills. Some would control resources. Some would have strong social skills. Throughout history, humans have created hierarchies under almost every system imaginable. So perhaps money doesn't create inequality. Perhaps it simply gives it a number, a way to measure something that already exists. And if that's true, then removing money might not solve as many problems as we think. So, what if money stopped existing tomorrow? The world probably wouldn't end. The buildings would still stand. The farms would still grow food. The power stations would still generate electricity. Humanity would survive, but we'd be forced to answer a question that money currently answers for us every day. How do billions of strangers cooperate? Maybe we'd create a new system. Maybe we'd create hundreds of smaller ones. Or maybe we'd discover that money was never the thing holding society together in the first place. Maybe trust was. And money was simply the language trust learnt to speak. So here's the question I want to leave with you. If money disappeared tomorrow, what would replace it? And would that new system really be any different?